No.
No.
Not 50-50. One, Beterbiev is 38 years old. Beterbiev has been down.
Yes.
Boxing pros have given their verdict on the potential upcoming clash between Dmitry Bivol and Artur Beterbiev. Robert Garcia thinks that Bivol might fight himself in trouble against the knockout King Beterbiev. He said that in order to win this fight, Bivol has to be the better one in the ring. He stated, "I think so too. But he's Bivol got to be a better fighter than Beterbiev because with Beterbiev it's hard. So one punch." He also believes that Bivol has to move quickly to counter the power of Beterbiev. Well, that's what Bivol's gonna do. Just boom, 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 touch, touch, and move, and touch, touch, and move. But that power is always there, man. That power is the last thing that leaves. But Joe Smith Jr., who's fought both boxers before, thinks that Bivol felt more difficult for him to handle, but also credits Beterbiev boxing skills.
You know, in my opinion, I felt Bivol was, the tougher fight for me. He's all-around fighter, but both fighters are very skilled. Beterbiev, he's very accurate with his punches. He hits you where he wants to. But I would be looking forward to seeing the two of them fight. But
as anticipation builds, Oscar De La Hoya's pick for the greatest fighter of today, Shakur Stevenson, has given his prediction for the upcoming highly anticipated light heavyweight bout. The WBC lightweight champion responded to a fan who was looking forward to one of the best fights of this year between Artur Beterbiev and Dmitry Bivol. "I'm looking to go big on Beterbiev. Even though Bivol is top tier too, I think Beterbiev takes this fight. Either way, it's going to be one of the best fights we've seen in years," the user noted on X. Responding to the post, Stevenson stated that he is instead betting on Dmitry Bivol to win the contest. Sugar, Stevenson, claims that Bivol's elite footwork will help him to secure the victory against Beterbiev. "I got Bivol, I think his age footwork gone. Win him the fight," Stevenson wrote. Beterbiev, despite being 39 years old, is currently the only world champion in boxing with a 100% knockout rate. Meanwhile, Dmitry Bivol, being comparatively younger at 33, is also an elite boxer with a great jab, superb ring IQ, and impeccable footwork. Furthermore, Bivol has one of the pound-for-pound kings of boxing, Canelo Alvarez, in his win column. Having battled Bivol in 2022, Saul Canelo Alvarez, who has first-hand experience against him, shared his opinions on the forthcoming fight on a recent pound-for-pound podcast appearance. In their battle, Bivol outpointed Canelo over the distance, successfully defending his WBA world title and becoming only the second to have defeated the Mexican star following Floyd Mayweather. Alvarez gave his prediction when asked regarding the Beterbiev-Bivol battle. "I think if Bivol has the condition and good game plan to go there, in and out, and do all these things, I think he wins. But if not, if he goes a little bit in the corner or on the ropes, it's going to be hard for him because Beterbiev is a very hard fighter." The discussion turned to Alvarez's potential comeback to the light heavyweight class, to which he said just one fight could inspire him to climb back up to 175 pounds. Alvarez is somehow expecting a rematch with Dmitry Bivol. He stated, "Yeah, it's possible one day. It's the only fight I make one more time at 175 is the rematch with Bivol. It's the only fight that will happen." Alexander Gvozdyk, who was overpowered by Artur Beterbiev in their fight, has voiced his support for Dmitry Bivol in the upcoming bout. Alongside Joe Smith Jr., Gvozdyk is backing Bivol. Beterbiev's recent injury has raised concerns among fans and fighters, with some speculating this could be his last fight. Gvozdyk is one of those questioning whether Beterbiev's time in the ring might be coming to an end. Beterbiev is starting to fall apart and getting injured pretty often. He's not a young guy, and it's not a joke anymore. He's almost 40 years old. He's been fighting since he got out of the crib. He's had many injuries and many wars. You never know what kind of Beterbiev we're going to see, especially after his latest serious injury. Undisputed heavyweight champion Alexander Usyk seems to have predicted who will become the next undisputed light heavyweight champion of the world. So, when Alexander Usyk was asked about his thoughts on the upcoming fight during the 3 Knockdown Rule podcast, shared on YouTube today, the Cat, Usyk, chose Bivol as the potential victor. The Ukrainian champion said, "I guess Bivol, he has good legs, good movement. I watched the fight with Canelo Alvarez. Good boxing, defending, counterpunch, and combos." Lyndon Arthur, who has had the experience of sparring with Artur Beterbiev in the past, shared his insights on a potential matchup between Beterbiev and Dmitry Bivol. According to Arthur, Bivol undoubtedly has the technical skills and boxing IQ to hold his own in the ring, but Beterbiev's raw power is a significant factor that can't be underestimated.
I just want to ask you, obviously, as a man who shared the ring with Dmitry Bivol, he's facing Artur Beterbiev now. What's your thoughts on that undisputed match?
Well, I used to think Bivol was I still think Bivol's the best. Bivol's elite, but now I've seen that and I've felt Bivol doesn't hit as hard as what I think he needs to keep Beterbiev off. I've sparred Beterbiev. I know how hard Beterbiev hits in 16 ounces. I wouldn't like to take them shots in 10 ounces. Not for as long as that anyway. As a 12-round fight, and I don't know, man. Bivol's a boxer through and through, and he'll be happy to stay in there and box his head off if it can be done. But I'm excited for that fight. I'm sitting on the fence.
Speaking to Sean Zittel, the recently crowned WBC interim light heavyweight champion and first in line for the winner, David Benavidez, broke the fight down based on his experience sparring Bivol and being in with former Beterbiev opponent Oleksandr Gvozdyk. He stated, "They're both extremely talented fighters. Two different types of fighters, though. Bivol is a boxer. He moves around a lot, but he's solid. Beterbiev is a fucking train. He just comes at you and takes shots to give shots." Benavidez further added, "So what I'm looking at for this fight is Bivol has the power to hurt Beterbiev, because Beterbiev has been hurt by Oleksandr Gvozdyk. I've sparred both, and Bivol cracks harder than Oleksandr. It's going to be a really interesting fight. I think if Bivol stays on his feet the whole night, uses his jab, and then when they exchange he stands his ground, I think he has a really good chance of winning. But also, when Beterbiev gets his engine going, that is a train. He has, 19 fights, 19 knockouts? It's 50-50. A great fight." Eddie Hearn spoke highly of Artur Beterbiev, saying he's the kind of fighter Dmitry Bivol has never faced before. He also pointed out that Bivol is the underdog going into the fight. Hearn put it simply, saying that fighting Beterbiev is like going up against someone who isn't human, stressing how tough Beterbiev is.
It's just like you're fighting a guy that's not human. You know, he's not breathing. Every shot hurts. Even in the clinches, you see how strong he is. I'm not sure I've seen anything like it before, really. It's like it's not right. It's just like it's an unfair advantage.
He also acknowledged that Beterbiev's age isn't exactly working in their favor, but despite that, he keeps improving with every fight. However, Hearn admitted that if everything goes according to Bivol's plan, Bivol could eventually wear Beterbiev down in the later rounds. He went on to describe the matchup as a chess game, where each move and strategy will be crucial in determining the outcome. "I know he's getting older, and you hope that he is slowing down, but he is not. He's actually doing his best performances now. It is very difficult to outbox him in the 12 rounds, because he is actually going to wear you down. He is going to force the pressure with his shots around the back of the head and shots on the ears. They really hurt." However, people from Artur Beterbiev's camp have completely dismissed the rumors that age has caught up with him. Callum Simpson, the rising English super middleweight from Barnsley, who recently sparred with Beterbiev, called these claims absolute nonsense. Simpson praised both Beterbiev and his coaching team, emphasizing their hard work and dedication.
He will be the same Beterbiev, I guarantee you that. He's different, mate. He's different. Everyone I've sparred, everyone that I've been in the ring with is just built different, and yeah, I know he's got an amazing team around him as well.
Artur Beterbiev's trainer, Mark Ramsey, believes that Dmitry Bivol may have intentionally delayed the fight, hoping that time would catch up with Beterbiev and he would start to show signs of aging. However, Ramsey pointed out that instead of slowing down, Beterbiev has only improved over time. It's going to be a very important fight. There is nothing personal here for Artur. He just wants to beat the guy in front of him, and at the end of the day, he just really wants to win. This is his main thing. He is just very competitive. He is always training and in the gym. We've just been waiting and waiting. They are hoping that one day Artur is going to get old, but he is just getting better and better. Albert Ramirez believes that the fight will be a 50-50, but bets on Beterbiev to win by knockout. He stated, "For me, it is a 50-50 fight on paper. I know how Artur trains personally, and I've heard Bivol is always doing good training. But if I do have to put money on the fight, I will have to say that Artur will win by knockout." Jilay Zhang confidently predicted that Artur Beterbiev would knock out Dmitry Bivol. In an interview with Boxing Scene, Zhang shared his thoughts on the potential matchup, stating that Beterbiev's power will be too much for Bivol to handle, ultimately leading to a KO. They're both great fighters, but Beterbiev will hurt him and probably end this fight with a knockout. I think Beterbiev's power will overwhelm Bivol's in and out footwork and his skill set. I think Beterbiev is just way too strong. Blair Cobbs expects Artur Beterbiev's power to be decisive when he faces Dmitry Bivol later this year. Beterbiev enters the fight with an undefeated record and a 100% knockout streak. While Bivol may be his toughest opponent yet, Cobbs, a welterweight contender, believes Beterbiev will still come out on top. Artur Beterbiev has unbelievable strength and power. "I don't know how Bivol is going to be able to fight somebody like that," said Cobbs when speaking to pro boxing fans. "I don't see Bivol being able to survive something like that, but it will be very interesting. Bivol could land too many punches on Beterbiev, mess around, and start piling on points." One of the most anticipated fights of 2024 will finally take place on October 12th when Artur Beterbiev and Dmitry Bivol meet for the undisputed light heavyweight title. But before these two men do battle, a packed undercard has been announced with a number of world title fights taking place. Among those set to feature is WBC lightweight champion Shakur Stevenson, who faces Joe Cordina, IBF cruiserweight champion Jai Opataya, and WBC women's featherweight champion Sky Nicholson. British fight fans will also have a keen eye on the eagerly anticipated rematch between Fabio Wardley and Fraser Clark for the former's British light heavyweight title. Fans will get to witness one of the most highly anticipated bouts in recent memory, Artur Beterbiev versus Dmitry Bivol. Both undefeated and in their absolute primes, this bout will certainly be a banger with the pugilists putting everything on the line. Bivol is fresh off his TKO win against Malik Zinad, boasting an undefeated record of 23-0, 12 of which are KOs. On the other side, Beterbiev, who made easy work of Callum Smith, coming in with an unblemished record of 20-0, all of which have been earned by knockouts. While this LHW clash was previously set to headline a star-studded card that included the returning Deontay Wilder facing the in-form Zhilei Zhang, a training injury forced Beterbiev to the bench, extending the date to October 12th. The fighters have since shared their thoughts with Bivol, extending his gratitude to the matchmakers, as per BigFightWeekend.com, saying, "It's a great fight, not only for me, but for boxing fans. Saudi Arabia will make this fight, and thank you for this. When I signed a contract to be a pro boxer, I had a goal to be undisputed champion." Whereas the stoic Russian, Beterbiev, mince his words, keeping it to just a simple line, "I'm happy to be here, it's not the first time. I see another belt, I'm collecting belts, and I need one more." Despite the wait, fans are in for quite the matchup on October 12th when Artur Beterbiev and Dmitry Bivol meet in the ring to produce the next undisputed light heavyweight champion since Roy Jones Jr. in 1999. So what do you think about this fight? Who do you think will be the next undisputed light heavyweight champion? Beterbiev or Bivol? Share your thoughts in the comment section and make sure to subscribe and like if you enjoyed the video.